in the Parshas Vayigash, we have the famous Maisa of Yaakov and Yosef, come reuniting, and you also have last week's Parsha, the reuniting of Yosef and Binyamin. He sees Binyamin for the first time, and in this week's Parsha, when Yosef reveals himself as Ani Yosef, so he's finally able to really embrace his brothers and reconnect in a very probably one of the most emotional scenes in all of Tanakh. Is when Yosef Tzaddik says Ani Yosef and everyone's crying and he embraces Binyamin and so on. So it says in Pasuk that when Yosef and Binyamin embrace, and you find a similar thing with Yaakov and Yosef as well, but more strongly with Yosef and Binyamin, is that they're both crying on each other. But the Pasuk goes out of its way to describe that they're crying al tzavare achiv, that each one is crying on the neck of the other. Crying on the neck of the other. Yosef is crying on the neck of Binyamin, Binyamin is crying on the neck of Yosef. So Rashi points this out. First of all, why are they crying? It's an interesting question, why they're crying, because they haven't seen each other in years. Okay, the question was why they're crying, and why is it described specifically that they're crying on the neck of the other? So Rashi answers both with one teretz. The Chazal say that really what they were crying about was because Yosef Tzaddik was foreseeing in the future that the Beis HaMikdash, which at least part of it, the Kodesh HaKodshim, part of the Mizbech, would be in the portion of Binyamin. Yosef Tzaddik foresaw that the Beis HaMikdash would be destroyed. Yosef and Binyamin foresees that Mishkan Shiloh, which was going to be in the portion of Yosef Tzaddik, Shiloh is in the portion of Yosef, that was also going to be destroyed when the Aron was captured by Shmuel and Avi. That was the destruction of Mishkan Shiloh. So each one saw that the temple of each other's portion is going to be destroyed, and that's why they're crying. And Rashi says, and this is hinted to in the fact that they're crying on the necks of each other, because we find this in Shir Shimon, particularly in Chazal, that the Beis HaMikdash is described as something that's sitting Barumai Shel Olam, in the pinnacle of the world, the highest place in Eretz Yisrael, and it's described as the neck. That's why in Shir Shimon we have many references to the neck of the Kala, the neck of whoever this man in Shir Shimon is talking to. He's describing the beauty of this person's, of his beloved's neck. And Chazal interpret that's referring to the Beis HaMikdash, which just as the neck is the high part of the body, so to the Beis HaMikdash is the highest part of Eretz Yisrael. And so that's what they're crying on each other's necks, more than just on the necks, they're crying because of the necks of each other. Okay, that's Rashi, that's Chazal. Here's a question. The question is, if the Beis HaMikdash is being described as the highest part of Eretz Yisrael, the neck is not the highest part of the body. What's the highest part of the body? The head. So why would the Beis HaMikdash be not being described as the head of the body? Why the neck? The truth is more than that. There's a Gemara in Zvachim which describes that the Jewish people always knew when they got into Eretz Yisrael there was going to be a Beis HaMikdash, and there was a specific spot in Eretz Yisrael that was predestined to be the place for the Beis HaMikdash, but it wasn't known exactly where that was. So the Gemara tells us a tradition that we have that when David HaMelech was running away from Shaul, so one of the nights that he was running away, he spent the night with Shmuel and Avi, going through the sugya of trying to figure out where the Makom HaMikdash is going to be. And the Gemara explains that they had a few psukim in Tanakh to work from, and working it all out, the key component, the piece of the puzzle to figure out that it's the Har Bayis that we know of in Yerushalayim is that the Beis HaMikdash is described as the neck, and the neck is very high in the body, but not the highest. And so for the Beis HaMikdash also has to be a high place in Eretz Yisrael, but not the highest. And so that's also hinted to in the Pasuk when Yaakov Avinu gives a bracha to Binyamin, Mibein Kseifav Shachin, that the Shechina should reside in his portion, which is the Beis HaMikdash, but it's described as the Shechina residing between his shoulders. In other words, the neck, which is not the highest, but close to the highest. So this is why the Beis HaMikdash is the neck, which is the highest part of the body, but not really. So what does this mean? Why is the Beis HaMikdash taka not the highest part in Eretz Yisrael? Why is it not? Why is it the neck and not the head? So there's a mimer from the Lubavitcher Rebbe. So he explained the following thing. He said like this. He said that if you think about like we're used to the human body, you know what I'm saying? But if you think about it, there's really two parts to the human body. There's the head, and then there's the body. The head is obviously what's controlling everything. The head is where all good ideas come from, you know. The head, Chazal say, is connected to the neshama in a very strong way. And the neshama, we say every day in the morning of davening, Alakai neshama shenasat to be, Tahiri, the neshama that you gave me is pure. So there is a certain part of the neshama which is absolutely pure and holy and pristine and untouched by any sins, and does not need to be in planet Earth in order for it to be fixed. It's not broken at all. And that's the neshama. And that part of the neshama, that neshama which is pure and holy and pristine and unbroken and unblemished, that's connected to the head of a person. And then you have what we call the nefesh, what we call the human body. The human body means that part of a person which comes into the world completely broken. And we understand that the person is here. You have midas rois, negative midas, negative character traits, and ignorance, all the stuff, all chaos that we're walking around with. That's all symbolized and represented by the human body. And then there's the neck. What does the neck do? The neck bridges the head with the body. That's what the neck does. The neck not only bridges the head with the body in terms of the blood and everything like that, but nerves, everything. That's the connective part of the body to connect the head with the rest of the body, which means that the Beis Hamikdash being compared to the neck and not the head tells us the following thing: that the tachlis of the Beis Hamikdash is not for it to be a place that we visit that's just completely above and beyond planet Earth. That's not the tachlis of Beis Hamikdash. The tachlis of Beis Hamikdash is to be a bridge, and it symbolizes within the person, to bridge that part of a person which is pure and pristine with the part of the person which is messed up and chaotic. And the tachlis of Beis Hamikdash is to use the beautiful gift that we have, which is called the neshama, which is holy and pure and unbroken, and not just to allow that to sit somewhere on a pedestal. Adrabah, the tachlis of the neshama is to somehow using the neck to come into the body and to bring harmony and fixing to the body itself. And this is the tachlis of why the neshama comes to the world. The purpose of the neshama's coming into the world is not for it to be fixed, but the purpose of the neshama to come to the world is for it to bring out its kaiches, to allow itself to have a place in which it could express itself in its ability to fix the body. That's what it wants to do. Like you have a person who by nature is like a handy type of guy, He's one of these people that when they were younger, they would like take apart a toaster, put it back together. There are people that have an innate urge, innate desire to fix things. That's what the neshama needs. That's what neshama wants. The purpose of the neshama, these are the two parts of who we are. There's a part of who we are that comes to planet Earth to be fixed. And then there's a part of who we are which comes to planet Earth to fix. And they're both missing without this experience. The body's missing without the head, because without the head, so to speak, it's stuck, it's dead, it doesn't have any, it's completely broken. And the head is missing without the body, because then it doesn't have an arena in which to express its ability to fix and its ability to accomplish something. The linchpin that unites both these worlds, the body to be fixed and the head to fix, that's the neck. And that's what the Beis Hamikdash is about. The Beis Hamikdash is really about seeing a problem and recognizing that that's a problem that needs to be fixed, aleph, and number two, I have it within me the ability to fix it. And that's what the Beis Hamikdash means. The destruction, losing a Beis Hamikdash was more than just losing a place. But ever since we lost the Beis Hamikdash, God forbid, there's this rift between body and head, where there's a part of us which is perfect and pristine, and then there's a part of us which is completely in tatters and shattered in chaos. And both are now crying and mourning, because the body is in mourning because there's nothing, it's not being fixed. And the head is in mourning because it's not able to fix anything. The Beis Hamikdash meant the ability for the body to be fixed by the head, and for the head actually to fix the body. And then everyone is happy. The head's happy because it's able to express its power in fixing, and the body's happy because it's being fixed. This is why the Baruch Rebbe explained, obviously in his way, because he was always about practicality. He said, this is why, it's interesting, he says, why is it that Yosef is crying over the Beis Hamikdash of Binyamin, and Binyamin is crying over the Beis Hamikdash of Yosef? If Yosef saw the Beis Hamikdash of Binyamin being destroyed, Nastami, he knew that Yosef's Zopishkan will be destroyed, and vice versa. So why not cry over their own? The answer is, if you foresee that your Beis Hamikdash is going to be destroyed, then guess what? Do something about it. Don't allow it to be. Don't allow it to happen. In your own life, see, the whole Beis Hamikdash means fixing. It means fixing. It means acknowledging that there's something wrong and not saying, "Oh, woe is to me." No, you see something wrong. That's exactly what the basic English is for. Is to give you the ability to fix what is broken. So if you foresee in your own chaylik, so to speak, that there's something missing, there's something wrong, then guess what? Fix it. What you can cry about is if you see someone else's chaylik messed up, then there's only so much you can do. You could be mishtat, you could be noisei bal chavera, you could feel the other person's pain and cry over his loss, but over your own churban beis hamikdash, you rebuild the beis hamikdash. That's what you do, and that's what's going on with you when Yosef and Binyamin. This is why b'chlal, this whole inyan of Yosef and Yehuda being brought together through Binyamin is all revolving around this inyan. Yosef corresponds to the body that needs to be fixed. Yosef Tzaddik struggles with nisyanis and he's muskaber, but Yosef Tzaddik means the body. Yehuda means a kind of shamash b'tayri, and that's why even when Yehuda does things that are strange, he doesn't get affected by it. He's almost impervious to destruction. His entire he's the Rosh. Yehuda is the Rosh. He's the Melech. He's the king. He's the head of the body. The union between Yosef and Yehuda means the body allowing itself to be fixed by the head, and the head engaging in fixing the body, and then everyone's happy. The tachlis of life is not to be perfect. The tachlis of life is to recognize the chesroinus that the Rebbeinu Shalom gives us, and to believe that we have within our capability, the best of our ability, to fix those problems and to engage in fixing. It's not to say, woe is to me, finished. No. That's why you're here. You're here in order to have the part of yourself that needs to be fixed, and to allow the part of yourself that wants to fix, to give it the ability to fix. The greatest simcha the neshama has is by repairing the body. That's the greatest simcha. The simcha of the neshama is not in Gan Eden. When it's in Gan Eden, he wants to come back to planet Earth to fix things. It's fixing. That's the tachlis. That's the real tachlis habriya. That's the avodah of what he is supposed to do. That's this whole time that we're in right now is moving from, Chanukah is sort of in a certain sense sort of the tail end of the Yom Noraim, and Purim is the beginning of the new Yom Tov season of Pesach and Shavuos. We're now no man's land. We're now in the dead of winter. So, okay, Tu B'Shvat. We have things coming up. I'm saying, but you find reasons to have a Farbrayin. But L'maisa, from Chanukah until Purim, it's Chayshach. It's a little Chayshach. It's Mamash Chayshach. But that's the point. The point is that you have these Tkuvas of Yontif, where it's Reish, it's head, it's Neshama, it's perfect, it's amazing. And then you have Tkufas of body, where things are broken and messed up, and there's really nothing nothing's lichtig. But the point is to bridge the two. The point is to realize that the Yom Tovim of your life, it's not satisfied with just being a Yontif. It wants to enter into those areas of non-Yontif and uplift it. And the non-Yontif areas of life want to be uplifted by the Yom Tovim. And that's the avoid that we're in right now, like sort of embracing the the next couple months where there's not Yom Tovim, but that's exactly the point. The Rosh and the Guf, Yosef and Yehuda, they have to be reunited together through the Beis HaMikdash. So Hashem should help us. To see the Beis HaMikdash rebuilt in our days, and the way to do that is by rebuilding in our own lives. What does it mean to rebuild the Beis HaMikdash? It means to recognize what you have to work on in life, and to realize that that's why you're here, is to fix what's broken, and to give your neshama the hana in its ability to fix. And then it's a win-win. Everyone's gaining. When a person recognizes what they have to work on, and they begin to work on it, everyone's super happy. The body's happy because it's finally being fixed a little bit, and the neshama's happy because it's able to fix. Build the Beis HaMikdash in your life, as Hashem be able to see the Beis HaMikdash rebuilt in all of our lives. B'vias Kol Tzedek, Amen.
Amen.